We are shifting our focus here. We're learning the UK Foreign Office has now condemned the security breach involving External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar in UK. Well, we are learning that protests had taken place during External Affairs Minister's UK visit, and the Foreign Office has said that we strongly condemn the incident that took place outside Chatham House yesterday during the External Affairs Minister's visit to the UK. It also said while the UK upholds the right to peaceful protest, any attempt to intimidate, threaten or disrupt public events are completely unacceptable. Well, the Metropolitan Police acted swiftly to address the situation, and the statement also goes on to read that we remain fully committed to ensuring the security of all our diplomatic visitors in line with our international obligations. Well, this is what we're learning now. Statement coming in from the UK Foreign Office. My colleague Ghazali also now joins us on the broadcast here. Well, this is unexpected lines, Ghazali. Well, the MEA here has made it clear that it expects the UK to act accordingly in the matter. And we do understand the UK, while condemning the incident, has clearly said that the country upholds the right to peaceful protest, but any attempts to intimidate or threaten or disrupt public events are completely unacceptable.
See, as usual, the statement has been issued by the Foreign Office of the UK government. But if you see the statement, it clearly says that it won't promote any kinds of violence, it won't promote any kind of activity which endangers or threatens the dignitary who are visiting UK. But it doesn't speak about any kind of arrest. It doesn't speak about any future prevention act. And this is certainly a routine statement, and this is not for the first time they have issued it. Back in 2023, similar incidents were at peak when protests were happening outside the Indian High Commission. Our Indian High Commissioner was threatened there, the industrial officials were threatened there, and yet a similar statement from the Foreign Office was issued by the UK government. Now, why this is far more serious? Because our External Affairs Minister, as I said, gets his very own United Kingdom. He met the Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, day before yesterday. He met the Foreign Secretary there, the Secretary of the State there. And yet, the statement coming out of the government is still the same routine one. There has been no change in the language. Yet, India continues to demand that there should be some concrete action against the troublemakers who were raising slogans, who disrespected the national flag, and also sort of the visuals are very scary that one person tried to jump on the car in which Dr. Jaishankar was traveling. So certainly that means more action, more than words, is what the Indian government has also said by leaking their statement about the entire incident.
So Ghazali, going by the statement, it clearly looks like there isn't much to be expected from the Keir Starmer government, as was the case with the previous UK government as well.
See, in diplomacy, Dr. Jaishankar and many other experts say the same thing, that in diplomacy, not everything is black and white, but countries have to look after their own interests first before talking about others, before giving preference to other countries, even if they have good relations or not. Now, coming to this entire Khalistan issue, India has time and again raised it with US, India has time and again raised it with Canada, with UK, with Australia, and wherever the Sikh diaspora or these anti-social elements stay. But our relations, our trade ties, our investment, other culture and people-to-people ties with these countries continue to be the same. It is always on upswing, on upward swing is what the officials claim. But when it comes to this issue, we have not seen very far strict or concrete action from these countries, except a couple of statements.
But when you say, Ghazali, that countries have to seek their own interest first, does it mean shielding such separatist or extremist elements in their countries?
See, we saw what happened with Canada and how Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau kept ignoring the request and kept ignoring the kind of demands which India was expecting, a kind of action which India was expecting from them while sheltering anti-social elements from India, and what is happening with their economy, what their opposition leaders are claiming. With UK and US, the relations are quite different with what we had with Canada or any other country where these elements have been harbored by the governments there. In UK and US, the government has been very strict. We saw with the change in administration in US, the Donald Trump administration, some were
Yes.
backing India on issues of terror cases. We saw that how Tahabur Rana will be extradited very soon from there, and this was promised by Mr. Trump or conveyed by Mr. Trump to Mr. Modi when he visited US recently. Coming to UK, our trade ties are very strong, and that is when Dr. Jay Shankar, our foreign minister, says that these issues will be sorted, but these are mutually exclusive incidents. It doesn't impact our trade ties, investment, other bilateral trade and other bilateral relations. But this obviously is a very important, and this has been a major incident because our foreign minister was there. He was facing that attack. It was no other government official or unnamed officials there. And this is not happening for the first time. Perhaps it shows the situation has escalated so much in the last 2 years that these elements who have been raising anti-India slogans or desecrating our national flag have the gall to do it in front of authorities against
Absolutely.
our foreign minister. So that is the issue which the Indian government will certainly register their protest with their UK counterparts.